Hare Krishna. So we welcome everybody to this Sunday, not Sunday, this Thursday morning program. Very, very special because today is Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. It is our great fortune that we have got this opportunity to, on this day, come together and hear about Krishna, chant Krishna's names, glorify Krishna. So it is our great fortune that we have got that. So we began with this bhajan. Bhajahu Remana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara. Very quickly, let's just meditate on the meaning of this. I feel it is very relevant to meditate on this Nirjala Ekadashi day. Bhajahu Remana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara. So Govind Das is preaching to his mind that, my dear mind, please worship Krishna, because when you do so, we will become Abhay, fearless. Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Tarahu Ebhava Sindure. This is the purpose of human life. This, which is very rare. Human life is very, very rare. Let us come in association of devotees, and by that, let us cross over this ocean of material existence. So on special days like today, which is called as Madhav Tithi, Bhakti Janani, this gives rise to devotional service in our heart. This gives rise to devotion in our heart. And so we can meditate on this, that, oh, what is the goal of human life? Shita Atapa Bhata Barisana E Dine Jamini Jagire. Whether it be hot or cold, whether it be dry or rainy season, whether it be day or night. Bifale Sevenu Kripana Durjana Chapala Sukha Lagire. I have been only serving these materialistic people or the materialistic masters, including my mind and senses, only for some Chapala Sukh, only for some flickering happiness. But I have not got anything. Bifale. I have not got anything in return. And this is what is our today's verse. We'll talk about that. E dhana yavana putra parijana ite ki ache paratitire. We feel that, our wealth, our family members, our relatives, our youth, can protect us and we can take shelter of that. But these things are themselves fallible. These things are themselves fallible. So therefore, they cannot give any shelter to us. And what is the ultimate reality? Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. The life which we are somehow sustaining is like a drop of water on the lotus petal. Anytime it may drop. And actually, it's a fact. Anytime it may drop. Bhajahu Hari Pada Nitire. Therefore, my mind, please worship Hari. And how to worship Hari? Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pad, Sevana, Dasare, Pujana, Sakijana, Atma Nivedana, Govinda Dasa Bilashare. So let us see if we all can. Of course, some of us may have office, some of us may have a lot of household chores and duties. But if we all can be conscious that today is a very special day, and to whatever extent, if we can try our best to maximize these 9 things in whichever way possible, it will be a great fortune. Okay. So the verse which was given to me today is this verse. Everybody is able to see this on the screen. So this morning we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, 5th chapter, Shloka number 2. Oh. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayed Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Vidura Uvacha Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham vanyadu paramam va vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham vanyadu uparamam va Vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham vanyaduparamam va Vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha All Prabhus together. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham vanyaduparamam va Vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha All Matajis. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nate sukham vanyaduparamam va Vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadennaha Vidura uvacha Vidura said, Sukhaya, for attaining happiness, karmani, fruitive activities, karoti, everyone does so, lokaha, in this world, na, never, teh, by those activities, sukham, any happiness, va, or, anyat, differently, uparamam, satiation, va, either, vindeta, achieves, bhuyaha, on the contrary, tataha, by such activities, eva, certainly, dukkham, miseries, yat, that which, atra, under the circumstances, yuktam, right course, Bhagavan, O Great One, vadet, may kindly enlighten, naha, us. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura said, O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please, therefore, give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. Let's read the purport. Vidura asked Maitreya some common questions, which was not originally his intention. Uddhav asked Vidur to approach Maitreya Muni and inquire into all the truths concerning the Lord, his name, fame, qualities, form, pastimes, entourage, etc. And thus, when Vidura approached Maitreya, he should have asked only about the Lord. But out of natural humility, he did not immediately ask about the Lord, but inquired into a subject which would be of great importance to the common man. A common man cannot understand the Lord. He must first know the real position of his life under the influence of the illusory energy. In illusion, one thinks that he can be happy only by fruitive activities. But what actually happens is that one becomes more and more entangled in the network of action and reaction and does not find any solution to the problem of life. There is a nice song in this connection. Because of a great desire to have all happiness in life, I built this big house. But unfortunately, the whole scheme has turned to ashes because the house was unexpectedly set on fire. The law of nature is like that. Everyone tries to become happy by planning in the world, in the material world. But the laws of nature are so cruel that it sets fire to one's schemes. The fruitive worker is not happy in his schemes, nor is there any satiation of his continuous hankering for happiness. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, even if Purushottam month is over, that does not mean we have less opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. Uh, every day, or in spiritual world, every day is a festival. Every day is a special day. And actually, we are supposed to take shelter of Krishna and remember Krishna when? Which days of the year? Every day, every moment. Ideally, a pure devotee does that every moment. And I'm so thankful, so grateful to each one of you who are assembled here. As I said, today is a weekday, and everybody must be very busy with so many things. But if we prioritize Krishna, then Krishna rewards us accordingly. Uh, Krishna says, "Ye yatha mam prapadyante tab tathaiva bhajamyaham." I will reciprocate according to what is my priority in one's life. Krishna says, "Don't tell me, show me." And these small gestures which we do. That we fight with our mind, we fight with our boss, we fight with our office, we fight with our daily routine to say that no, tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadashi, today is Nirjala Ekadashi. Let me make sure that I come to center and I hear and I chant more as much as possible. This this out of the way which we went to some extent, actually is noted by Krishna. We should have firm faith in this. And this Bhagavatam which we hear, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, that is very purifying. It actually purifies us a lot, and Krishna becomes very pleased. What is that? Shrunatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana. Hidi Antastho Hyabhadrani Vidunoti suhat satam. The message of Srimad Bhagavatam is itself virtuous. And when Krishna sees that a soul is eager to hear this message, Krishna becomes very pleased and he himself starts cleaning our heart. And that too, when we do this on a Ekadashi day, and that too a very, very special Ekadashi among all Ekadashis, Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. A Vaishnava understanding of Ekadashi is not a Karma Kanda perspective, that we focus ourselves more and more on some rituals, and things like that. Vaishnava understanding is that we use this as an opportunity to minimize our material activities today and maximize our spiritual activities today, which means Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, whatever one can do. Therefore, if you see, there is this Vaishnava Ekadashi and Smart Ekadashi. Sometimes they fall on the same day, but sometimes one day later, like that. I was trying to, inquire about why this is so, because ultimately Ekadashi as per lunar calendar will be Ekadashi only. Now, how can there be two Ekadashis? Then I understood that, as we all know, as far as the solar day is concerned, Ekadashi can start from the afternoon of the previous day and end in the afternoon of the next day, right? According to smart people, what they do is, wherever the maximum overlap is there, whichever day there is maximum overlap, that they consider as Ekadashi. Vaishnavas, whenever Brahma Muhurta falls in Ekadashi, that they consider as Ekadashi. So let's say Ekadashi is starting from yesterday afternoon till today afternoon. Or let's say yesterday 8 or 9 o'clock to today 10 o'clock. Then what is the maximum overlap with the day? Yesterday. Then I'm not saying that today this was the case, but let's say then they would think of that to be Smart Ekadashi. But Vaishnavas, because the main purpose is to maximize spiritual activity, and what is the best time to do spiritual activity? Brahma Muhurta. So whenever Brahma Muhurta falls, that is what is calculated as Vaishnava Ekadashi, in my understanding. So that's what I have understood so far. But anyway, so it is very, very special that we are here today. So let's try to dive deep into this verse, which is 3.5.2. So what is the context? We all know the context here. Of course, weekdays we have this series going on, but Sundays we have a different series. But just for a quick recap, so third canto begins with Vidura, Parikshit Maharaj asking Shukdev Goswami about this Vidura Maitreya Samvad. So Vidura Maitreya Samvad is one of the very, very famous conversations in the entire Bhagavatam. It occupies a lot of duration in the entire Bhagavatam, Vidura Maitreya Samvad. And as we know in Sanatan Dharma, the conversations are so important because Sanatan Dharma is not like one-way knowledge transfer. It is always a two-way discussion, which is what people are also understanding in today's learning and teaching system. People are more and more realizing that teaching or learning is not just about one-way traffic. It is more about a mutual engagement, mutual discussion, and all that. And that is actually what was in our Sanatan Dharma since time immemorial. That's how the Gurukul system used to be. So people would always converse, people would always inquire about spiritual subject matters or anything else. So in the similar way, Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring about the famous Vidura Maitreya Samvad from Shukdev Goswami. And such conversations between two great souls, Vidura is a great soul, Maitreya is a great soul. Whenever two great souls are discussing, of course, if they are discussing in private, then we should not peep. But if they are discussing in public, then we should all be very attentive. We should become very eager and attentive to hear what they are discussing. Sometimes we have seen in WhatsApp, we get messages to disciples of Prabhupada. They are discussing something and everybody is taking photos and videos, and then circulate it on WhatsApp. It is very purifying, first of all, to see two great souls discussing about Krishna. And secondly, when we hear what they are discussing, just like Mother Ganges purifies three worlds. Mother Ganges purifies three worlds. Similarly, such conversations, they benefit one who is speaking, one who is hearing, and one who is inquiring, one who is answering, and everybody else who is hearing. It benefits them. So like that, there are many conversations in Srimad Bhagavatam, including this Vidura Maitreya Samvad, which is very, very special. And today's verse is the first verse of that Vidura Maitreya Samvad, actually. This 352, third canto, 5th chapter, second shloka, is the first verse of Vidura Maitreya Samvad. Similarly, there are many other great conversations. Can you think of any other great conversation? Let's say in Srimad Bhagavatam. The first conversation which is happening between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. That's also conversation. Just like here we see Parikshit is inquiring from Shukdev Goswami. Not that now he's about to die in 7 days. He's sitting, okay, you keep speaking, I will hear. I'll somehow tolerate. No, he's very actively involved in the hearing process. So hearing is a very active engagement. It appears as if hearing is a passive engagement. क्या करना? बैठ के सुनना है. No, it's a very active engagement. We are applying our mind, we are applying our heart, we are applying our soul And we are absorbed in applying the teachings to our own life, not to others who are sitting around, but to ourselves, like that. And therefore, this vitamin H is very, very important. When I was doing Bhakti Shastri, that time our teacher was telling that the hearing is like a mother's milk for an infant. That important is hearing for us. And somewhere else, somebody said vitamin H. Like that. Anyway, so conversations. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. Any other conversations in Bhagavatam? Suta Goswami and Shonagadi Rishis. Huh? Narad and Vyas Dev, Narad Yudhishthir, Bhishma Yudhishthir, Nimi Maharaj and Navayuendras, so Uddhav and Krishna, Uddhav Gita, Shivaji and Prachetas, Rudra Gita, Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingh Dev. So many conversations are there. It's such an amazing. Our scriptures are so amazing. Once Gauranga Prabhu was telling that, Acha, by the way, how much time we have? Okay, maybe 9:15. Till tomorrow morning fast रहेगी. No. 9:15, I think we should end because we want to chant. I mean, those of us who have more time today, we can all, after the class, we all can sit and chant. Anyway, there is no prasadam today. That's the whole purpose of no prasadam. We all can sit and chant. So I'll not come too much in between you and chanting, but a little bit hearing. So, kidhar tha main? So once Gauranga Prabhu in one class, he was telling that Christians, that sometimes our people, devotees, they attend Bhagavatam class and they say, Prabhuji, kuch naya bataiye, please tell something new. We have heard this past time, And Prabhuji was in his joking style. He was telling that we have hundreds and thousands of pastimes. Even after that, our people are saying, kuch naya sunaiye. Christians, they have just one or two pastimes only. And like that, they are spending their entire life happily. But anyway, so many wonderful conversations in Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, it is said in Mahabharata there are 5 very important conversations. One is, of course, the Krishna and Arjun, Bhagavad Gita. That's one very important conversation in Mahabharata. Second important conversation is Bhishma and Yudhishthir. Remember, Krishna brought Pandavas to Bhishma, and that conversation is very, very important. In fact, Vishnu Sahasranam comes in that conversation. Shankaracharya has commented on that. Second, third very important conversation in Mahabharata is Yaksha Prashna. That question answer between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Yaksha. Very, very instructive. Very, very instructive. Very deep lessons there. Fourth is Vidur Niti. When Dhritarashtra is asking Vidur about how to rule, what is politics, sociology, economics, and all that, that is Vidur Niti. And fifth very important conversation in Mahabharata is called Sanat Sujatiya. So we have Chatush Kumaras. Out of them, who are this? Sanak, Sanatana, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar. Sanat Kumar is also called as Sanat Sujatiya. So the conversation between Dhritarashtra and Sanat Kumar is called as Sanat Sujatiya. Right? So that is a very, very important conversation because Dhritarashtra is making spiritual inquiries. After hearing from Vidur about all sociology, politics and economics and everything, Dhritarashtra starts inquiring about spirituality, and Vidur says that the best person for this is Sanat Kumar. And that time Sanat Kumar comes, and then there is a conversation between Dhritarashtra and Sanat Kumar, which is called known as Sanat Sujatiya. So these 5 are very. Anyway, similarly, we are talking about Vidur Maitreya Samvad here. So then what happens when Parikshit Maharaj said, Shukdev Goswami, Maharaj, can you please tell us about that very famous Vidur Maitreya conversation? Shukdev Goswami begins from where? Shukdev Goswami begins from Duryodhan insulting Vidur. He begins there, that how Duryodhan insults Vidur, and then Vidur takes that as an opportunity to intensify Krishna consciousness. Every opportunity we should take as an excuse to intensify our Krishna consciousness. That is a very, very important point. Whether something good has happened to us or something bad has happened to us. How can we take that as a mercy of Krishna? Sometimes we wonder that let's say if something very bad happens to us, हमारे साथ कुछ बहुत बुरा हो जाए, लोग बोलते हैं इसको भगवान की कृपा जैसा लो, भगवान के mercy जैसा लो. How if something very bad has happened to me, how can I take that as a mercy of Krishna? Who can answer this? If something bad has happened to me, how can I take that as a mercy of Krishna? Huh? Okay, that's a reminder about the true nature of this world. Okay. It breaks so it makes us more dependent on Krishna. So it's like a servant of Krishna to help us come closer to Krishna in one sense, right? Once somebody answered that if taking that opportunity, we intensify our Krishna consciousness, then we have taken that as a mercy of Krishna. And of course, what you said is that only. Like if we understand the reality of this world, then what do? We intensify our Krishna consciousness. If we understand our helplessness, then what do? We intensify. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We call out. We call out. Uh, Gajendra, when he was calling out to Krishna, he was not calling in with the attitude of, okay, I am calling out to Krishna to solve my problem, and after my problem is solved, then I will go back to my normal life. That is not calling out. That is not surrender. Gajendra was calling not with this mentality that I am invoking Krishna to help me. He was saying, okay, done. Now I'm yours. Do whatever you want to do with me. That is the subtle difference between calling out for our own welfare versus surrender. And actually, calling out for our own welfare is also included in pure devotional service. Anya bila shita shunyam. So, for self-preservation, for protecting our own life, if we are crying out to Krishna, that is also included under pure devotional service. But we understand this fine sentiment, fine difference between calling out for our help, so that, okay, after the help is done, okay, Krishna, you go back to Vaikuntha. What are you doing here now? Go back. And I will also go back to my business. Don't you know I have a meeting starting at 10 o'clock? No. Gajendra, how, in what mode he was calling out? Okay, now I'm done. I have understood. बड़ो दुख पाइयाछि स्वतंत्र जीवने दुख दूर गेलो पदवराने. What beautiful lines Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. One of my favorite lines. This is the ultimate realization of material life. बड़ो दुख पाइयाछि स्वतंत्र जीवने दुख दूर गेलो upadhavarane. Like that. Today's verse is also going to talk about that only. Anyway, so then when Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukdev Goswami said, oh, Vidur was insulted by Duryodhan, and he took that as an opportunity to intensify his Krishna consciousness. And what did Vidur do? He went out on pilgrimage. So we can use everything in Krishna's service. We can use things in Krishna's service. We can use people in Krishna's service. We can use time in Krishna's service. We can use good situation in Krishna's service. We can use bad situation in Krishna's service. We can use our past knowledge and experience in Krishna's service. We can use, you see how here Vidura is an example of using a bad situation in Krishna's service. Sugriv is an example of using facilities in Krishna, or using past skills in Krishna's service. Once in one Ramayana class, Gauranga Prabhu was describing that how, when Lord Ram asked Sugriv to help and organize this monkey party, to search for Mother Sita, then Sugriv, he divided them into 4, north, south, east, west. And Sugriv was giving a very detailed description of, you people, you go in north, and you will meet one mountain, you take left there, after taking left, there'll be fire, jump that fire, then you will go down the drain, whatever, so many details he was telling, so many miles here, this will happen, that will happen, don't do that, don't take left, go right. Then Lord Ram, again Gauranga Prabhu in his humorous style, he was telling, Lord Ram asked Sugriv, kya travel agency chalate the kya? Earlier, did you have a travel agency? So much details, and then he was telling how Sugriv, before coming to Krishna consciousness, he had gathered some knowledge and experience. How he knew that, by the way? Because Vali was chasing him all over the planet. Since Vali was chasing him all over the planet, therefore Sugriv had run all over the planet, and therefore he had noted in his diary about everything, the whole geography of this world. That past knowledge, experience, and skills, before coming to Krishna consciousness, Sugriv was able to use in Krishna's service after coming to Krishna consciousness. So nothing is waste. Nothing is waste. Nothing is waste. Maya means to see something as separate from Krishna. If we are able to see connection of anything with Krishna, then that is not Maya. Anyway, so then Vidur left for the pilgrimage, and in pilgrimage he met Uddhav. That's how the third canto proceeds. And he asks Uddhav about Krishna, about Yadus, and then Uddhav breaks him the bad news that how Krishna has departed from this planet. And then Uddhav, he becomes so ecstatic in remembering Krishna. As soon as Vidur asked Uddhav about Krishna, Uddhav, he becomes so ecstatic that, oh, asking about Krishna, yes, this is my favorite activity, to speak about Krishna or to hear about Krishna, And then Uddhava, in his ecstatic remembrance of Krishna, feeling of separation from Krishna, he started remembering every pastime of Krishna, inside Vrindavan, outside Vrindavan, Mathura pastimes, Dwarka pastimes, wo sab ho gaya. And then uske baad, when Vidur was asking more and more, Uddhav told that better is you go to Maitreya. Maitreya is senior to me, and that time when Krishna was telling, Maitreya was also present and he was hearing. So it is not a good etiquette that I'm speaking in front of Maitreya, you go to Maitreya. Then Vidur directs, Uddhav directs Vidur to Maitreya. So Vidur goes to Haridwar, and that's where He meets Maitreya Muni. And this is where this verse is coming. So as soon as Vidur meets Maitreya, he begins inquiring. And this is the first thing he's saying. Let's read the verse again. What is he saying? Vidura said, this is the beginning of Vidur Maitreya Samvad. Vidura said, "O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please, therefore, give us directions on how one should live for real happiness." Oh, there are some scooters which need to be removed, two-wheelers. 6413 bike. There is one 6413 motorcycle. Then there is 4801, H4801 motorcycle. Then there is N3784 motorcycle. And there is 1223N Activa kind of vehicle. I repeat. Acha, here only. In front of our center only, here. I repeat. BE6413 motorcycle, H4801 motorcycle, N3784 motorcycle, and 1223N Activa type scooter. So those devotees who own these four vehicles, can you please kindly move them aside? Okay. So Vidur is telling that, oh, people are engaged in fruitive activities, but in search of happiness, but in doing so, neither they get happiness nor they get satiation. In fact, they get suffering only. So can you please tell what needs to be done? That's the beginning of this inquiry, Vidur's inquiry. So Prabhupada is writing that how Vidur wanted to know what? To know more about Lord directly. No indirect class, direct Krishna consciousness. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, Dham, all that about Lord. But out of humility and for the benefit of common man. Prabhupada writes two things. Out of humility and for the benefit of common men, Vidur is asking from this basic question about the realities of this world, about how people are engaged in the wrong thing and how they should come to their senses and they should engage on the right thing. Like that Vidur is asking. And Prabhupada is telling, common man cannot know about the Lord. He has to first understand the reality of material life under illusory energy. This is called as taking from the known to the unknown. Let's say we are preaching. When we are preaching, if we directly start telling, of course, we should tell about Krishna whenever they have come to temple and they have come to hear about Krishna only. But let's say we are going to a college and they are not interested to hear about Krishna. Then what do? We tell them about the nature of this world. We tell them about the sufferings. We tell them about the realities of this world. We tell them earlier we were happy, now we are not happy. We tell them about how the material civilization is making progress in the wrong direction. And then they are able to appreciate because they are able to connect with that. That is what an Acharya does. There are Shastras which talk about the knowledge here, and there is the reality of this material world. What does an Acharya do? The Acharya bridges the gap between the two. Acharyas make Shastras relevant. And that is one of the very beautiful and amazing contributions of Srila Prabhupada. When we read Prabhupada's purports, even if somebody is wearing, like in that episode of Brahmaji, so many Brahmas come to Vaikuntha and they bow down to Krishna. And Brahmaji log sab mukut pehne hai na. So Prabhupada is translating that as helmet. Because American people who mukut kya samjhenge? Mukut, they have never seen mukut in their life. I don't know, crown kind of a thing. But Prabhupada is writing helmet. And similarly, so many places, we have seen so many translations and so many purports of Prabhupada, wherein Prabhupada is giving a slightly different translation, which is relevant to modern people, which we can relate with. That is what is an Acharya. Similarly, Vidur is asking about the realities of this material world so that common people can awake to that reality. As we discussed sometime, that what is preaching? Preaching means to pacify a disturbed person and to disturb a peaceful person. Correct? We discussed this, right? Okay. So taking from the known to the unknown, that's one of the very important skills of preaching, that whatever people know or whatever people are able to relate with, from there we can handhold them gradually to come to Krishna. In this verse, in these two sentences, when Vidur is telling that people are engaged in fruitive activities in the search of happiness, but neither they are getting happiness nor satiation, in fact, they are only getting suffering. This is the summary of material life. In two sentences, material life summarized. That's what Vidur is doing. And we'll now zoom in into our material lives a little bit more. So the first thing which he is saying is there is no happiness in search for fruitive activities. Even though people are running behind them in search of happiness, but there is no happiness. So we all have heard this enough. We all know that there is no happiness in this material world. There is no happiness in the sense objects. What analogies come to your mind if you have to illustrate this point to somebody? If you have to illustrate this point to somebody that there is no happiness in this material world, What analogies come to your mind? Yes, Abhay Govind Pro. Chewing bubble gum. So when we chew about, I mean, of course, we have now stopped because it seems that has some pig intestine or something. I don't know. It's considered non-veg actually, eating chewing gum. Plus, it is not good for stomach also. It creates gas problems. But anyway, if at all in our childhood or somewhere we have chewed a chewing gum, then what happens initially? Nice sweet juice. After 2 minutes, nothing. Still, Prahlad Maharaj is calling this what? Punah Punah Charvita Charananam. Once one devotee came to Pune temple said, Guruji, do you know what? We said, what? He said, Are Pune is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Are, where is Pune mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? You know, earlier Pune was called Pune, na? He said, where is Pune mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? He said, Prabhuji, see this verse of Prahlad Maharaj, Punah Punah Charvita Charananam. That is Pune. That's not Pune, that is Punah Punah. Punah Punah Charvita Charanam. जो चबा चुके हैं हम लोग. अच्छा, is this the first time that we have come to enjoy this material world? In this life, oh, अरे, mobile, I never saw this before. How nice it is. I will whole day sit with mobile only. Like that, you know. Are mobile, this bile, that bile, we have done some millions of lives earlier. Even proper better technologies than this. Huh? And still we are getting fascinated. All that glitters is not gold. We have already chewed. जो भी तेज रस निकलना था ना निकाल लिए हम लोग. Huh? There is nothing left in this material world. Very good analogy, Abhay Govind Pro. Chewing gum. And sometimes people, those who don't like chewing gum, they give example of sugar cane. शुगर केन निकाले एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार, अब क्या करते रहेंगे, वही कर रहे हैं अभी हम लोग इस लाइफ में. इफ वी आर स्टिल नॉट सरेंडरिंग टू कृष्णा, इफ वी आर स्टिल नॉट हैविंग एन इंटेंस डिजायर टू सर्व कृष्णा, imagine what we are doing. We are taking that sugar cane which is already gone, done. Again we are putting it with the hope of some one drop of juice. What is this? That's what we are doing. These analogies, these graphic illustrations, they help us a lot, and we should actually make posters and put in our homes here and there, maybe near our mirror. When we like that we should do, to remind ourselves that is Krishna consciousness. Because the greatest curse on conditioned soul is what? Forgetfulness. That is the greatest curse on a conditioned soul. Abhi sunenge pura chabi bhar gaya, excited ho gaya ekdam, yes, and then that Mahaprasad button which we will not have today, that makes us forget everything, right? Like that. So there is no happiness. Very good. Any other analogy? So we have seen chewing gum analogy, we saw sugarcane analogy. Any other analogy? Mirage. In view, out of experience. लगता है मिराज, लग रहा है पानी है, there is water, but you go there, left high and dry, no water. Mirage. Very good example. Any other? Mataji 3130. Yes, Vijay Mataji. That carrot hanging in front of the donkey. One more step, I will get it. One more step, I'll get it. We don't get it. As preachers, ours is a preaching movement. And since Vidura is asking with this question, we can remind ourselves of the reality of this world and also equip ourselves with some preaching tools. So fourth, fifth example. Any other example? Aditya Prabhu? Yeah. Squeezing the sponge. Okay, we have already squeezed. Now nothing is remaining. Now we are doing like this. Okay. Damodar Prabhu? Itching. In fact, no satiation. We'll come to that no cessation part, but yeah, itching. It appears okay if we scratch, we'll feel happy and relieved. But then the more you scratch, the more, in fact, basically the title of this verse is itching in one sense. Because neither there is satiation nor happiness, maybe little bit happiness, but in fact only suffering. If you do more, blood will start coming out, right? Some other examples are this bamboo. We want to drink sugarcane juice, but instead of chewing sugarcane, we are chewing bamboo stick. Very important. When we say there is no happiness, it doesn't mean there is no happiness. We are finding it at the wrong place. Happiness is there. Soul's nature is to enjoy. Anandamayo bhyasat. Soul's nature is to enjoy. So happiness is there. That is our philosophy. It's not that, oh, no happiness. No, there is full happiness. But we are trying to find happiness in the wrong place. Example, instead of chewing sugar cane, we are chewing bamboo stick. तो क्या हो रहा है उल्टा? एक तो टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है, दूसरा suffering हो रहा है. Very graphic example. Okay. Another example which comes, yes, Damodar Prabhu? सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्टिव हैबिट्स में हम लोग देते हैं. कैमल को लगता है बबूल लीव्स आर वेरी टेस्टी, उसका फेवरेट होता है, जाता है खाता है, उसका टंग पियर्स होता है, और वो जो ब्लड ड्रिंक करता है उसको लगता है अच्छा जूस है. That example we give for self-destructive habits. One more example comes in some Purana about that. Yes, Nidhi Mataji? That is an example for how our senses cheat us. Illusory attraction. Huh? That's an example for illusory attraction of this world, which only makes us suffer. But we are talking about example, correct analogy, but for the point of illusory attraction. We'll come to that later. But our point is, okay, there is no happiness in this world, right? So, एक और example which comes in Purana is about the reflection. Let's say we have a mango tree near a river. So, we are getting mango reflection in the water. And in water, we are trying to grab mangoes. No matter how hard will we try, can we get the mango? No, no. Where there is will, there is way. क्या हुआ उसका? So, is that right or wrong? Where there is will, there is way. Incomplete. It's not about right or wrong, it's incomplete. Where there is will, Krishna shows the way. And if we are sincere, Krishna will tell us, idhar nahi hai, idhar hai. So where there is will, Krishna shows us the way. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So yeah, this was another example, reflection of necklace. Yes, bro? Yeah, that's also illusory attraction. There is nothing, it appears as if there is happiness, it's not there. So therefore, the reality is what? We have bigger houses, but smaller hearts. More medicines, lesser health. More comforts, but less time. See, ultimately, all inventions were done so that more time, whatever earlier took so much time, should now take less time. That's the purpose of any invention typically, right? Let's say grinding wheat. Earlier, mothers would, take out some 4 or 5 hours. पहले तो छानो, बीनो, सुखाओ, धूप में धो, वो they used to wash. Then they would dry in the sun. Then they would, take out any other thing remaining. And then they would do like this for hours. And then some atta will come. Today, now, 5 years back, at least you would go out. Now, not even that. Zepto, Blinkit, everything. And then we get it. So how much time saved? Let's say earlier it was taking 4 hours, now 10 minutes. So how much time saved? 3 hours, 15 minutes. So time saved. Still everybody is complaining. What? No time, no time, no time. Kya hai? This is illusion. This is Maya. Maya means that which is not. लग रहा है यहाँ happiness है नहीं है माया. लग रहा है time बच गया पर नहीं बचा उल्टा waste हो गया माया. लग रहा है there is in this world we can enjoy, but we cannot enjoy Maya like that. So Maya is all of this. Anytime we think of something to be real, which is not. Okay. Yeah, so no happiness. So this we are all very clear about. There is no happiness. Second thing he says, in fact, forget happiness. There is only suffering in return. That is the return gift we get. So we all know Maya has 2 Shaktis. Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Shakti. So Maya beats us and makes us forget. Again, so we are sleeping in the lap of Maya. And Maya is slapping, Maya is pinching, doing all kinds of things. And the baby, we are babies in the lap of Maya. And baby starts crying. Maya, so we feel angry. Again, ये कब से चल रहा है? This is going on since ages. And then when Acharya comes and says, अरे क्या हो रहा है? चलो बाहर निकलो इधर. Come, get out of the lap of Maya. Get out of the lap of Maya. And then when we start getting out of the lap of Maya, then Maya starts taking us more seriously. So all of us who have been practicing Krishna consciousness for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 20, 30 years, should they be less concerned about Maya or more concerned about Maya? क्या सोचा था माया? हम लोग आके डिवोटी बन गए तो माया पीछे हो गई? No. We are not yet 100% pure. Maya is going to test us like anything. And the tests to such devotees are harder. Tests for these young devotees are what? Wealth and women. New devotees. And tests for some senior devotees is egoism and lethargy. So Maya attacks new people how? How Maya attacks new people? Wealth and women. Jai Shri Radha Madhav ki, Jai Shri Gauranga ki, Jai Shri Gauranga. So Maya attacks new people by wealth and women. That's the weapon of Maya. Very easy. Maya attacks experienced devotees, seasoned devotees through egoism and lethargy. I am better than others. I am senior. How dare he did not bow down to me? I entered the temple hall. He did not bow down. तो दक्षा में और आप में क्या फर्क है? Why are you hearing every day Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya? What is the purpose of Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya if you cannot meditate on these things during your day-to-day activities? But that happens by blessings. To be able to remember what we have read or heard is not a matter of our academic or intellectual scholarship. Prabhuji, we are reading, hearing so much, but we are not remembering only. Don't worry, remembrance is not you. Remembrance is coming from Krishna. What is that? Sarvascha Medi Sannivishto Matta Smritire Jnanam apohanam cha. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. That is Krishna's prerogative. So if we please Krishna by our attitude, by our three things: activities, attitude, and association. AAA battery. We all use AAA batteries. So this AAA battery, never forget. The AAA battery for our spiritual life. What three things? First is activities. We have to do the right activities. But is activities enough? We have to do the right activities with the right attitude. If attitude is wrong, then problem. Correct? We have to do the right activities of Krishna consciousness with right attitude in association of devotees. Because Prabhupada says if somebody is sitting alone at home and thinking, practicing Krishna consciousness, he is in illusion, Maya. So activities with right attitude in association of devotees. If we do that, then Krishna will be Krishna, senior devotees, Guru will be pleased. And by their blessings, it is a result of their blessings that we remember whatever we are reading and hearing. And we are able to apply in our day-to-day situations. Anyway, so Prakshapatmika Shakti and Avaratmika Shakti, and then we are trying to get out, but Maya takes us more seriously, and Maya will use her more serious weapons, egoism and lethargy, for that. And we have discussed this another analogy that when we serve Maya, we get salary. When we serve Krishna, we get salary. See, ultimately, what is our constitutional position? To serve. Correct? We have no choice but to serve. Choice is only whether you want to serve Maya or you want to serve Krishna. In service of Maya also we get salary, and in service of Krishna also we get salary. What is the salary we get in service of Krishna? Krishna prema. Krishna prema bina vyartha daridra jivana dasa karo more deho vetana prema dhana. Something like that. I mean, changing the order of the words, but this is the meaning. That Krishna prema bina vyartha daridra jivana das karo more deho vetana prema dhana. So Krishna service का सैलरी है कृष्ण प्रेम. माया सर्विस का सैलरी क्या है? Fake currency. We have discussed this once, but let's revise this. These examples are so graphic, so amazing. This I heard from Radha Gopinath Prabhu in one Govardhan Yatra. He said, Maya, in Maya service you get salary, but that salary is of fake notes. जाली नकली नोट. तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? पहली बात तो उससे कुछ फायदा नहीं है. You cannot purchase anything from that. Right? Secondly, if police catches you with that, you will be in jail. You see? First of all, no happiness. Secondly, in fact, suffering. So that is Maya's salary. Right? And therefore we discuss Maya's das. This we say again and again. But we have to ask ourselves, okay, am I being Krishna das? Once one devotee in his lecture was telling, when we come new in Krishna consciousness, we are so enthusiastic and so eager to become das, anudas. After 3-4 years, we think das, anudas zyada ho gaya. Das, anudas is okay. I'm das, anudas. After some more years, we think we are das. After some more years, we think we are Prabhu. And after more years, we think we are Mahaprabhu. See, bhakti, the journey of bhakti has right examples also and wrong examples also. Bhagavad Gita has shlokas wherein Krishna is telling intelligent people do this, intelligent people do this, intelligent people do that. And there are shlokas which fools and rascals do this, fools and rascals do this, such people are fools. Our choice, what we want to follow. Similarly, in the journey of bhakti, that's the purpose of reading, hearing. We have good examples also. We're going up. And we have negative examples also. Jiska case studies we should do, and we should understand that is what we should not do. Aisa. Anyway. And Prahlad Maharaj says, the suffering wale point pe Prahlad Maharaj says one more example. That how we think something nice will happen, but something wrong only happens. What is the Prahlad Maharaj shloka here? Dukha aushadhi tadapi dukkham. We think that I have a problem. I can try to solve the problem in this particular way, but every solution, every material solution actually is accompanied with some suffering, typically. And therefore, the ultimate solution is what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So once there was one fight between husband and wife, very serious fight, and that escalated into big wars and everything, and for months and years together. And then, somebody advised, chant Hare Krishna, everything will be fine. What do you think? So let's say husband and wife are fighting and they're about to get divorced. And what do you think, if they chant Hare Krishna, their problem will be solved? In Krishna consciousness, yes is also answer, no is also answer, and people are उसी समय एकदम silence हो जाता है class. When there are such questions, no wonder yes बोला तो कुछ लोग ऐसा देखेंगे, no बोला तो कुछ लोग ऐसा देखेंगे, and we don't want to take sides. What is the answer?
Krishna's will.
Okay. ऐसा नहीं होगा. Let's say, okay, चलो उसको छोड़ो. Let's do something more relative. I have knee pain, tremendous knee pain. Okay. Now, if I chant Hare Krishna, will the knee pain go away? No. No. The ultimate pain will go away. Knee pain may go away if you are a very special case, but that's not a typical case. Okay. Now, please understand. This is very, very, very carefully to be understood. In general, Krishna does not interfere in our life just like that. Oh, for all our material problems, Krishna is there to solve our problems, and Krishna will take care of our problems, and our life will be full of no problems. Even in pure devotee's life in Srimad Bhagavatam, we are seeing there's problem after problem after problem. In fact, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of more problems or more, happiness. Problems only. Every episode has problem only. Srimad Bhagavatam, correct? What is the lesson? Lesson is, yes, Krishna is the ultimate controller. He is the supreme enjoyer. He can do whatever he wants. And if he wants, he can take that away. But is that why we are chanting Hare Krishna? To consider chanting of Hare Krishna to be one of the, what is that? Ritualistic activities which are mentioned in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Is that why we are chanting Hare Krishna for our knee pain to go away? So we don't worry about the knee pain. Still, we want to take shelter, correct? Now, if we are chanting Hare Krishna, if Krishna wants to take away our knee pain, he can. Okay? But in general, Krishna does not interfere just like that. So then, if let's say I'm disturbed by knee pain, you have too disturbed by knee pain, I'm not able to chant, then what can I do? Take medicine, whatever, homeopathy, allopathy, Ayurveda, naturopathy, whatever, no problem. We are using medicine, we are not taking shelter of medicine. Correct? So now what is the solution? Chanting Hare Krishna or taking medicine? Ultimate solution is chanting Hare Krishna, right? But these things are like aids. AIDS wala AIDS nahi, matlab aid matlab some tools which can help us take shelter of Krishna better if something is disturbing us too much. So therefore, we should understand that how same thing can have a wrong understanding also and right understanding also. If somebody says, nahi, chanting se nahi hoga, wo wrong understanding hai. Because ultimately, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said that the solution to every problem is chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalau nasteva, 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 gatirannatha. For ultimate perfection, there is no other way. That does not mean for my stomach ache, there is no other way. Or for my stomach ache, that's the way. In fact, if that is coming between me and Krishna, then I can use anything and everything in the service of Krishna and approach Krishna. So therefore, to reject such things, nahi, iska to koi role hi nahi hai life mein, that is also another extreme understanding. If we are at that platform wherein we are able to reject everything and just focus on this and not get disturbed and our intensity of depending on Krishna is increasing day after day, then wonderful. But if something is, I'm talking about those things which is coming between me and Krishna. For those things, we may have to look for other alternatives. Like that. And that is also perfectly fine in service of Krishna. Just like pure devotees, they get admitted to hospital. Pure devotees take injection. Pure devotees take treatment. So what? Their faith on Krishna is questionable now? Exactly. That's the whole point. Right? Just like for body, there can be a doctor. For mind also, there may be a doctor. For marriage problems also, there can be a doctor. There is no problem in this. And this is not coming between me and Krishna consciousness. This is not against Prabhupada's philosophy. This is not against Krishna consciousness. But yes, overdoing these things, doing them without understanding that I'm not taking shelter of them. I'm using them. But shelter is Krishna's. You doing that and minimizing our sadhana, that is problem. And typically people associate that with that, and therefore people get alarmed. Is this clear? Right? I don't want this thing to be misunderstood. Therefore, I'll just spend one more minute on this. So we cannot compromise our Krishna consciousness in any way. If something is making me compromise Krishna consciousness, then I will first try to intensify my Krishna consciousness. If that is also not working, then I'll see what needful can be done, but I'll focus on this only. And even when I'm doing the needful, I'm careful how much is too much and how less is too less. There was one person in Prabhupada's time. There was this person who got too much into yoga. Okay, every morning, should we do yoga or not? One devotee 2-3 days back on phone told me, Prabhuji, you should do exercise. But chanting can solve all problem. Correct? So, you understood same thing I'm saying. So, should we do yoga exercise or not? Yes, to the extent it can keep our body fit, to the extent it is not coming in the way of my Krishna consciousness to the extent it is helping my Krishna consciousness, right? So in Prabhupada's time, one person went too much into yoga, Ayurveda and those things, so much so that he started associating more with yoga and Ayurveda than Krishna consciousness. And he started recommending to people, अरे प्रभु जी आपका थोड़ा ये पित्त का प्रॉब्लम है, आप ये वाला रसायन लो. प्रभु जी आपका आपका जो इतना हाइपर टेंशन है ना, ये इसके वजह से आप ये वाला रसायन लो. Like that he would do. And he would say, this is fine, but please do this more. It became more in his forefront. One day, Prabhupada and he were traveling in a car. And he was telling Prabhupada, this man was telling Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you have this problem now, you should take this rasayan. Your tension will go away, Prabhupada. He is telling like that to Prabhupada. And one more, 2, 3 things he said that Prabhupada, you should take this rasayan for this problem, that problem. After some time, this driver turned back and said, there is some problem in the brake. They were going at a high speed, I think in Western country. The driver said, there is some problem in the brake. So we don't know now. I'm not able to apply brake. And this person, this yogi, Ayurvedi, this guy, he became little, tension. Arey, kya hoga? Thoda sweat, he started sweating. Prabhupada smiled and looked at him and he said, now what rasayan you have for this? And then after some time, somehow the driver said, okay, now I'm able to apply the brake. Then Prabhupada said, chanting Hare Krishna is the ultimate solution. It's the ultimate rasayan. There is no other solution. Like that. So we have to understand things in proper perspective. Nahi to it's very easy to make error this side also and make error that side also. वो नहीं करना है अपने को, तो बड़ा misfortune हो जाएगा. So both errors we have to avoid. So dukh aushadhi tadapi dukkham. Happiness comes with suffering. Which shloka says in Bhagavad Gita this thing? Happiness comes with suffering. हाँ, यही संस्पर्श जाब होगा दुख योनय एवते. This happiness is pregnant with misery. This is the mean. At least those of us who are academically inclined, and Prabhupada expects all of us who are educated, young, literate people, we should study shastras very nicely. And whenever we hear some concept in some shastra, let's say we hear one verse, we should say, oh, this is similar here in Bhagavad Gita, similar in Bhagavad. This is what is done in typically Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and these courses also. Some academic orientation of these things should be done. So here he is saying happiness is coming with suffering. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying dukh aushadam tadapi dukkham. And Krishna is saying dukh yonayo evate. You see? So this way what happens now? First of all, our understanding of Shastras increase. Our contemplation of Shastras increase. Our remembrance of Shastras increase. And our application of that whenever right time comes increase. That's the purpose of reading, hearing. And again, all that will happen with mercy of Krishna. One poet, philosopher, material poet, philosopher said, this material life is like peeling onion. Material life is like peeling onion. You peel layer by layer. You don't know what is next. So you peel layer by layer. You uncover your life more and more. You don't know what is going to happen next. And with every peeling, you cry. Those of us who have peeled onion or cut onion in the past, we know, right? Onion cutting means crying, or peeling onion means crying. Actually, his quote is, material life is like peeling an onion. You have to peel it one layer at a time, and sometimes you cry. He said, sometimes you cry. Usko pura philosophy अच्छे से नहीं पता है. He is thinking, कभी खुशी, कभी गम. But we know, कभी खुशी. Maitreya is saying only gum. In some other class, somebody said always gum. I try to tone it down a little bit. I say, कभी खुशी, अक्सर gum. Because people sometimes get alarmed if we say too much that only gum, then they will go away. They will not come only. Right? So thoda like that. Anyway, so this was suffering. So no happiness, we saw that. Only suffering, that also we saw. Happiness के नाम पर क्या आ रहा है आपके पास? Suffering आ रहा है. Happiness ने suffering का cover पहना हुआ है. बहुरूपिया है वो. And third thing is even more interesting. No satiation. No satiation means हमको अंदर से satisfy नहीं कर रहा है. And not only that, फिर भी उसी के पीछे भाग रहे हैं. See माया. See, if we know ये जा रहे हैं तो current लग रहा है. तो will we go there? एक बार जाएंगे, next time we will not go. What are we doing? Again and again, again and again. इतना बड़ा करंट लग रहा है, प्राक्षेपात्मिका शक्ति, but आवरणात्मिका शक्ति. This is the real power of Maya. To make us suffer and to make us forget and to make it look like happiness. अरे वाह. Can you imagine what is Maya? This is Krishna. Krishna's power. Devi esha gunamayi mama maya duratya. The Christian concept is Satan, Saturn they call, is a competitor of God, and that's like two forces, good forces and evil forces. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Sanatana Dharma tells there's only one supreme. Everything, everybody, Ekala, Ishvara, Krishna are Sabhavrata, including Durga Devi, Maya Devi. But so how to understand this? Just like police department or home ministry serving under prime minister. But home minister's purpose is to make you suffer. But does it mean it is independent of Prime Minister? No, it is under Prime Minister. Such an amazing concept, na? See, we are so fortunate to be connected to Sanatan Dharma, and that also to be connected to Srila Prabhupada, that we have got such amazing understanding of Sanatan Dharma. Otherwise, there are so many people who are actually fighting in the name of Sanatan Dharma. Are we not fortunate? Huh? What has Prabhupada done? Srila Prabhupada की जय। ये वो वाला नहीं है, ये क्लास के लास्ट वाला नहीं है, थोड़ा भी बचा है, 8:40 हुआ है. So नहीं, हमारा ट्रिगर्स है. देयर आर सम ट्रिगर्स एज आई वाज डिस्कसिंग इन अदर क्लास, राइट? महाप्रसाद गोविंद इज वन ट्रिगर. फिर क्लास में जो सुना होता है सब भूल जाते हैं. सिमिलरली श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय इज अनदर ट्रिगर. हूएवर इज स्लीपिंग इन वन जय, and that jay is the loudest. Yeah, in between Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. So Maya is so special because Maya is Krishna's energy, huh? That she is making us give current, making it look like happiness, and then after current also we are still going. नहीं नहीं, जाना जाना, जाने दो. Arjuna is telling अथकेन प्रयुक्तो यम पापम चरिति पुरुषः. ऐसा क्या है भाई, पागल है क्या हम लोग? जय श्री राधा माधव की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव मैया की जय, श्री गौरीताई की जय. You remember this shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna is telling अथकेन, क्या है भाई ऐसा? अथकेन प्रयुक्तो यम पापम चरति पुरुषः. अनिच्छान, नहीं करना है. अनिच्छानपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजिता. As if somebody is pulling us by force. And what answer Krishna is giving? Calm, our enjoying mentality. बताओ कितना ईर्ष्या करते हैं हम लोग कृष्णा से. How envious are we of Krishna? To the extent we have enjoying mentality, what does that establish? To that extent we do not know Krishna, to that extent we do not love Krishna, to that extent we envy Krishna. Is that not the philosophy? पर ये enjoying mentality इतना कूट के भरा है, एक एक कण कण में भरा है. Just imagine, is it not? Do you not agree with this? तो अब क्या करें? We are helpless, we are hopeless, and that is why chanting is a helpless cry of a child to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Helpless cry is not just about अरे हमारा जॉब निकल गया, रोड पे आ गए. Helpless cry. Helpless cry is हम इतने बड़े rascal हैं. I have no hope. I am so papi. I am so fallen. I have no hope. Krishna, you can only save me. Please save me. I mean, you can only save me. नहीं, वो फिर एक दूसरे जगह false ego. Nobody can save me, and even Krishna cannot save me. That's another kind of false ego. But the point is this feeling that I am such. It's not about my current situation. Yeah, that is also there. In any situation, we can cry out. But a deeper and deeper understanding. See, spiritual life, therefore, repetition is important. Every time we hear the same thing, we get a different realization, or from a different speaker, or from Prabhupada. Again, from the same speaker also, next time we'll get a different realization because Krishna is reciprocating with us. You know, it's a very active process. As I said, hearing is a very active process. Depending on the sincerity of both parties, depending on the purity of both parties, Krishna reciprocates with us and does something different. And sometimes something even apparently as simple as we are not the body, we are soul, it may strike a different chord in us all of a sudden. We may get a totally different understanding of it, which probably we may not be able to put in words. That is realization. We get some experiences. Right? Yeah. So Maya is illusory attraction. Krishna has made Maya in such a way. And that fish bait example, Nidhi Mataji, which you gave na, Nidhi Mataji? Who gave fish that, sorry, not senses, moth, fire. Yeah, same. I mean, fire is for eye senses, fish is for tongue senses, right? That's how the attraction is, but it's only to make us cheat. Senses are only meant to cheat us. And there is enough attraction to keep us attached to this material world. Kabhi khushi, aksar enough attachment, enough happiness to keep us attached to this world. You see how Indra, when Indra was cursed to become a pig for 100 years in this planet, he became pig. Indra, who is so concerned about not leaving his position, he was cursed to become a pig in this earth, and he became also. Maya is so strong. Maya is so strong that when he became a pig, he got a pig wife also. He got pig children also, cute piggies, piglets. Got good cute children also. Children in any species, children are cute. So that we can happily lift the burden of raising them. You know, stool, urine, everything happily. अरे मार दिया, अरे 12 भी तो हैप्पी हो रहे. क्यूट नहीं होता तो एक मारते पकड़ के. Correct, na? See Krishna's creation. Krishna's creation is so amazing. वो क्यूट बच्चा खोलते करते मोबाइल भी गिरा देगा, छोटा है, 2 साल का है, तो भी आपको लगा अच्छा नहीं, नहीं मोबाइल ज्यादा हो गया, लेट्स से समथिंग कुछ है. You understand what I'm saying, right? That cuteness of the baby makes us bear the burden. Correct? Papa writes this in the Ajamila section somewhere. That this actually makes us. So Krishna's creation is amazing. नहीं तो लोग अपना duties ही नहीं करेंगे. People will not do their kartavya also very nicely. Anyway, why did I go to baby? There is enough attraction to keep us attached to this world. So Krishna has made this jail without any defense system, without any walls. It is such a wonderful jail. See, so many governments all over the world are spending lot of money of their lot of portion of their budget in maintaining their jail so that prisoners, criminals should not get out. Unqualified prisoners should not get out. They are spending a good portion of their budget on that. Krishna has made such a jail, it has no walls. People only don't want to get out. He has put that Maya. Such a jail. He has put such a concept that people only don't want to get out of the jail. They'll be here. Only one who is thoroughly qualified, utterly tested. That is Maya's duty, to test us. Huh? We'll be crushed. We'll be thrown up. We'll be thrown down. Everything. And then, and in every time we say Krishna, ऊपर जाते समय भी Krishna, नीचे जाते समय भी Krishna, crushed में भी Krishna, 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 Krishna. Then Maya will say, okay, okay, now I have tested enough. Okay, now she will open the door. And she will only help us. From Mahamaya, she will become Yoga Maya. So one gets more and more attached and more entangled in the cycle of action and reaction, Prabhupada writes. And this our situation is like that men in the well. Remember that Puran story? Men running, tiger chasing, hanging from a branch. Some drops of honey. Some drops of honey. And that is, we are thinking, ah, anand hai. Or zoom out karenge. So let's say we are just zooming in and only drop and honey, then anand hai. Zoom out karenge, what is the reality? What is the big picture? The Shastras classes help us zoom out and understand, okay, what I'm seeing right now, if I'm enjoying right now, let us say, that is also an illusion. Shok, moh, bhay. What is our state in this material world? Either we are shoking, the shok. Either we are in shok about past. Hi, ye ho gaya, hi, ye ho gaya. If only I would have gone to a better college. If only I had better parents. If only I had, a better son. If only I was born in America. If only I had a bigger car. If only. That is past. That is shok, lamentation. Either we are that, or bhai. What if I lose my job? What if my wife runs away? What if the roof collapses? What if I die? What if I get heart attack? Insecurity, fear, bhai about future, lamentation, hankering, or I want, either fear or I want something, bhai, fear or hankering, and more illusion about present. If things are going nice, Prabhupada writes in one purport, remember that people think if we have good house, good bank balance, good account, then we think we are happy, but that is illusion. धन यौवन पुत्र परिजन इथे कियाचे परतीतिरे. That's actually a fact. So just imagine, still, even like that man in the well who is in a very pathetic situation, just for some drops of honey, he is still thinking he is in a very nice situation. Such is our power of enjoying. I mean, such is our desire for enjoyment. Just see how rascal we are, how fallen we are. And therefore, pure devotees, they sing like this, that how we are all insignificant. Krishna Bahirmukha hoya bhagwancha kare, nikatastha maya tare, chapatiya dhare. The moment we desire to enjoy, that's when we came under Maya, and now we all understood the glories of Maya. So once, there is all worry in this world. We are only worrying. So in one lecture I was hearing, one owner of a company posted one job vacancy ad, and the post was head of worrying. Head of worrying was the post. So one person became very curious. ये क्या post है? नया post है, So let me apply. He applied. He went for the interview with the owner, and he asked, "Sir, what is this new post, head of worrying? I have never heard that post." Then the owner said, "See, I am the owner of the company. Currently, I am worrying for the company. I am worrying for the growth of the company. I'm enough of worrying now. Enough of work. I want somebody who can worry on my behalf for the company. I want to relax, but I will pay hefty salary. I'll pay so many lakhs a month." And this person said, "Arey, theek hai. It's a very good proposal because I'll just get such a big salary. क्या worry करना है ना थोड़ा. Anyway, worry कर रहे हैं life में. Worry कर लेंगे." Then this person says, "Okay, when will I get my first salary?" Owner said, "That is your first worry. So that's the reality of this world. Worrying. So yeah, 5 paise circus. Everybody, we have heard that story, right? That's how this world is. So actually, just to conclude, just to come towards the end of this class, this we are actually being kicked by football. I heard there's a football World Cup going on right now, if I'm not wrong, right? So if you see in football, we are actually kicked like a football, life after life, life after life. We are being kicked from one leg to another leg to another leg. That's what. Are we made for that? We are supposed to enjoy with Krishna. So therefore, Prabhupada, same thing. So this is one summary of material life. No happiness, no suffering, no happiness, more suffering, and no satiation. This is one definition of material life. Another definition of material life, Prabhupada gives in so many other shlokas and purports is of pavarga. Pavarga we have heard. What is pavarga in Hindi? Varnamala. What is kavarga? See, Hindi is such an amazing language. Huh? The classification of letters is also so scientific. How can people just argue about which? I mean, of course, it's not about good or bad. Ultimately, language is a means of communication. I'm not saying Hindi is good and English is bad. We should not typically say like that, at least in today's world. But at least we can appreciate who is who, where, and who is where. That we can appreciate, right? For example, we all know beauty, but beauty put. Nothing scientific here, not much. Of course, they will have rules. See, most of us don't understand the rules, therefore we make fun of it. But actually, there are rules. But then, if you have so many rules about things, then that means there is no nice system. हर चीज का रूल बना दिया. अच्छा ये चेयर को इधर से इधर नहीं रखना है, यहाँ रखना है. इसको यहाँ नहीं. मतलब कोई जनरल सिस्टम नहीं है जिसके अंदर everything can be explained. For everything there has to be one more exception का rule. So just like how chemistry works, right? Chemistry में you have more exceptions or more normal concepts. Normal concept थोड़ा सा होता है, उसके बाद पूरा लंबा लिस्ट किसका होता है? Exceptions का होता है. Later they will come up with a better theory which can see kaise hota how modern science works. I'm digressing a bit, but how modern science works. They come up with a theory which can explain, let's say out of 100 things, which can explain 50 things, right? So that theory becomes famous in first in research and all that, and then finally in textbooks because it is able to explain 50 things. The 50 things which is not able to explain, usko shuru mein kya bol dete hain? Exceptions. Okay, the so-called knowledge advances more and more. One more theory comes which is now able to explain these 50 also and next 10 also. Then that's a better theory. You see, which can explain the lower things also and also is explaining some more things. So now exceptions has become lesser, right? So exceptions is not a sign of knowledge. Exception sign of अभी मेरे को नहीं पता है, फिलहाल इसको park कर देते हैं. It's like parking for now. Later we'll come to it if we have a better understanding. Yesterday I saw one small video. Don't ask me when I watched it, but yesterday I watched a small WhatsApp short. WhatsApp नहीं, YouTube जो भी था, उसमें था they were talking about gravity. Now they are saying that gravity is not even a force. और कुछ तो वो क्या वो fold वो Einstein in relativity that some time and space fold like a bed sheet. So they are saying gravity, and they are saying the more we are understanding about the creation, the more we are understanding that what we knew was wrong. And actually, that is also a truth. That is also truth in the way material pursuits work. But anyway, the point I was trying to make here was this ka Hindi. You see ka, kha, ga, gha. Speak ka, kha, ga, gha. Everything is coming from throat. And throat में भी एक particular तरीके से ka, kha, ga. The other उसके बाद क्या है? Cha, cha, ja. You see? Everything is coming in the same way. So that is how it has been categorized, like how you pronounce it, the vocals. Similarly, there's something, so it's called the ka varga, cha varga, whatever, like that. Then ushma क्या होता है जिसमें heat निकलता है? Sha. देखो heat निकल रहा है. Sha, ha, sha. You see? Sha, 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 ha. Something like that is there, na? Similarly, there's a pa varga. So ka varga, cha varga, and all that. Then similarly, there's a pa varga. Pa, fa, pa, bha, ma. सब एक जैसा हो रहा है. So one thing what we are learning from here is how amazing ancient knowledge is, which is coming from like Sanskrit and from the Shastras and all that, right? But right now Prabhupada is talking about material life, summarized material world summarized as pa varga. Pa, fa, ba, bha, ma. Pa for Prabhupada at one place says parishram, at one place says parabhav. Both. Parishram means what? Material life means lot of hard work. Only hard work, hard work, hard work. Acha, spiritual life is hard work or not? Yes. Devotees have a big misconception. वो सुना ना मायादास सदाउदास कृष्णदास. बिंदास का ये मतलब नहीं है. बिंदास. बिंदास का मतलब ये नहीं अभी हम बैठे प्रभु जी, अरे हो जाएगा प्रभु जी, क्या अरे छोड़िए प्रभु जी, कहाँ इतना भाग रहे हैं एकदम, प्रीचिंग प्रीचिंग जन्माष्टमी जो है क्या कृष्ण प्रभु जी, डोंट डिड यू नॉट हियर कृष्णदास? That's not the meaning of that. We are very smart and expert in misunderstanding things. That means you, because you are taking shelter of Krishna, you are willing to take more and more anxiety for Krishna, but you are internally blissful by that anxiety. That is bindas. You see how Damodar इतना anxiety लिया उनका पूरा बाल ही गायब हो गया. That is like role model examples, like taking more and more anxiety, more and more anxiety. Arjunanand Prabhu, more and more anxiety, more and more anxiety. Like that. That is a devotee of Krishna. So anyway, so parishram. So that is one definition of material life. It is qualified by parishram, which leads to fena. Fena means you've seen a donkey working very hard. Foam is coming out of mouth. Working hard morning to night, morning to night. In Bombay, when I was there for some years, this is a typical story of many Mumbaikars. What is the story? They will leave home 6 a.m. in the morning. Acha, where do they stay? North Bangalore, North Bombay. Like Mira Road, Thane, upar, uske bhi upar. Like that. Why? Because South Bombay is very expensive and all jobs are here. So therefore, Bombay mein morning, you see, if you have to go this way, you better chant Hare Krishna and, surrender. If you have to go this way in the morning. And evening, if you have to go this way, same thing. But if morning you have to go like this and evening you have to go like this, it's an empty train. All those of you who have experienced this Bombay thing, right? So you imagine their life, most of them are staying there to beat the traffic or to somehow, have minimum impact on traffic. They will leave home at 6 o'clock in the morning. And likewise, they will come back home at 11:30 in the night. तो जो बच्चे हैं उनके छोटे छोटे चुन्नू मुन्नू, they are not seeing them only Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, they are asking mother, मम्मी ये कौन है? बोलते बेटा, this is your father. That is the nature of material life, and the more it is becoming more and more strugglesome. Prabhupada writes in his purport 60s and 70s, the struggle for material existence. और हम जो अपने अपने मम्मी पापा के घर में आराम से बैठे हैं, बोले struggle for material existence किधर है? But the more we come into the current of this world, this job, this, that too is becoming more and more competitive. Competition exam तो उसका नाम ही है competition exam. But even otherwise, normal life is becoming competitive. Job is not. Earlier, our previous generation, अरे एक job है, आराम से बैठ के relax कर रहे हैं, 9 to 5 आराम से life lead कर रहे हैं. अभी क्या है, कितना बड़ा टॉपर हो वो भी टेंशन में है, नहीं करेंगे तो निकाल देगा, ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. तो क्या हासिल किया है हमने? तो ये परिश्रम एंड फेना, ये है परिश्रम एंड फेना, नेचर ऑफ दिस सिविलाइजेशन, नेचर ऑफ दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. एंड वन मोर प्लेस प्रभुपाद राइट्स एज पराभव. पराभव मींस डिफीट. कितना भी कर लो अंत में क्या होने वाला है? हार, डिफीट. सी, देयर इज स्ट्रगल इन मटेरियल लाइफ एंड इन स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ. बोलिए, स्ट्रगल. इज स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ नॉट अ स्ट्रगल? सुबह उठना है, चैंटिंग करना है, मन नहीं कर रहा है पर फिर भी चैंटिंग करना है. सो मटेरियल स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ इज आल्सो स्ट्रगल, मटेरियल लाइफ इज आल्सो स्ट्रगल. बट आफ्टर मटेरियल लाइफ डिफीट इज गारंटीड, and after spiritual life success is guaranteed. Now you choose. Correct? There is struggle in material life also, there is struggle in spiritual life also, but after struggle in material life, what is guaranteed? Koi shak? Yeah, koi shak? No, it is guaranteed. This is the meaning of faith, both. That here wonderful, here miserable. That is also one more meaning of faith. And after struggle in spiritual life, success is guaranteed. Koi shak? ये भी नो जोर से बोलिए. On whose strength success is guaranteed? On our strength. अरे मैं इतना मानो, अरे प्रभु जी मैं जिसको हाथ लगाता हूँ ना सोना बन जाता है, तो मैं यहाँ आया हूँ ना तो सक्सेस तो होना ही था. Is that the reason of our faith? What is the reason of our faith? मौसम पतिता प्रभु न पाई बेया, पतित पावन तव अवतारा. On his strength, on the strength of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is telling, on that strength we have faith that yes, and yatra yogeshwara Krishna, yatra pada dharudara, tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir. This is not just to be discussed in a Bhakti Shastri class or in a new people preaching program, BG 108. This is to be memorized and remembered on a day-to-day basis. That yes, if I am prioritizing Krishna, then I will not lose in the long run. ये sure है, ऐसा conviction होना चाहिए. So pa for either parabhav, which is defeat, or parishram, which is lot of hard work without any result. That is pa. Then pa varg में next क्या आता है? Fa, fena. Fena means that same hard work. Therefore Prabhupada somewhere writes parabhav. तो वैसा करने से अच्छा था. Parabhav, then fein. Fein means so much hard work that you are foaming at mouth morning to night. Pa, fa, ba. Bandha, bondage. That's another characteristic of this material world. Prabhupada wrote in the purport today, he gets more and more entangled in the cycle of action and reaction. हाँ, फिर तो पूरा होपलेस ही होता है एक्चुअली टू फॉर अस टू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस, इसीलिए तो इसको भव सागर बोलते हैं, ऐसे ही नहीं बोलते हैं सागर. इफ आई थ्रो यू इन अ सागर, जस्ट लाइक टाइटैनिक वाज थ्रोन, इफ आई थ्रो इन द सागर, व्हाट विल हैपन नाउ? फिनिश्ड. बेटर यू रेज हैंड एंड सरेंडर, दैट्स इट. जो होगा होगा. बाय योर ओन पावर यू कैन नॉट स्विम ओवर, स्विम अक्रॉस. इसलिए भव सागर बोलते हैं. इसलिए संसार दावानल ढलोका, इसलिए दावानल बोलते हैं. दावानल क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज जंगल की आग कोई कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता, कोई यूएस गवर्नमेंट, कोई गवर्नमेंट नहीं कर सकती. दे हैव टू वेट फॉर रेन. त्रणाय कारुण्य घना घनत्वम. सो दीज एनालॉजीज इन शास्त्रास आर नॉट जस्ट लाइक दैट. कुछ और नहीं मिला तो ओके, भवसागर सुनने में अच्छा लगता, भवसागर पार करा दो प्रभु. अरे वो सागर बहुत गहरा है, उसका बहुत गहरा मीनिंग है कि वो बहुत गहरा भी है, बहुत लंबा भी है, बहुत चौड़ा भी है. अनफैथमेबल. That's why it is called as ocean of material existence, struggle for material existence, forest fire. So bandha, and now, so it's not in our power to be able to get out. Simple, finished. कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो क्या करें? कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे. सो ब बंधा, फिर भ, प फ ब, भ. भ फॉर भय, वो तो हमने डिस्कस कर ही लिया आज. वरी, एंड हेड ऑफ वरिंग. Worry, fear. That is the characteristic of this world. Why there is so much fear in this world? Because nothing is permanent. ए धन यौवन पुत्र परिजना इथे की आचे परिति तेरे. We want permanent. We want stability. Correct? All of us are looking for stability. What stability you have in this world? Nothing. Therefore, we are all kuntha. Therefore, we are all in anxiety. हाँ? अच्छा, इसका गलत अंडरस्टैंडिंग कुछ लोग निकाल लेते हैं. लेट्स से दे आर मैरिड, दे क्रिएट सो मच इंस्टेबिलिटी इन देयर मैरिड लाइफ. They think that this, so they think instability is a substitute of spiritual advancement. That's not what it means. You have to do your duties nicely to take care, do your best, leave the rest, to take care of things nicely. उसके बाद कुछ हो गया, you see it that way. And you don't try to make this world as a permanent home. That's the understanding. Don't try to, Jesus Christ says that this world is like a bridge for us to go to spiritual world. Right? Don't try to make the home, make your home on the bridge. Bridge पे कौन घर बनाता है? Don't make a home on bridge. Right? That's the meaning. In our voice days, I mean, as such, I have not stayed in voice that much, but I know what happens in voices. So in toilet, they would write, this world is like a toilet, get out of it as soon as you can. And I was so eager to learn all these things. वो सब लिख के मैं अपने घर में ले आता था, कोट और सारा लगा लेता था चारों तरफ. This world is like a toilet. Let's say you go to a very dirty toilet. Yeah? And then, and let's say a public toilet. उधर लगा हुआ है. This world is like a toilet. Get out of this as soon as possible. There's a nice understanding of this to give us impetus in Krishna consciousness. But then, as householders, we should not have a very negative. There is a right understanding of this and a wrong understanding of this. Wrong understanding means, okay, let me spoil my married life. Let me become so miserable, so frustrated that I will become a better devotee. That will never happen. You'll stop coming to center also if you're not taking care of things nicely. So we have to take care of things nicely, but inner emotion should be like what? I don't know. This is illusion. This is illusion. How Priyavrat Maharaj we discussed last time, that he did everything nicely. Later what he's saying, he's repenting. But he did everything as a service to Krishna. So both emotions are needed. So we don't have to mix our behavior and emotion. Behavior should be what? As per the situation. I have to do my duties nicely. I have to take care of things nicely. Emotion is what? This is not for happiness. So we are earning money. Are we earning money for happiness? Sorry, this is the chanting hota hai. Earning money is like this. We are earning money. Is money earning we are doing for our happiness? No, we should not have that thought. We are not earning money to become happy. We can become happy only by Krishna, devotees, Bhagavatam, chanting. We should have full faith. Otherwise, ये जिसके लिए बोला जा रहा है हम वही हैं. मतलब जिसका characteristic बता रहा है. We work hard for fruitive activities in the chase of happiness, but we only get no happiness, no cessation, and only suffering. So when we are working hard in office, what is the difference between them, me, and somebody, a materialist or a devotee? The difference is a materialist is working, a devotee is working hard, but a devotee is not doing that to get happiness. A devotee is doing that as a duty, just enough, with time boundaries, as duty to please Krishna. As far as happiness is concerned, I come to center, I associate with devotees, I do ABCD, reading, hearing, chanting, Shravana, Kirtana. That should be the understanding. Just like medicine, we don't take shelter of medicine, we use medicine. That's very, very important. Donations in center. Are we dependent on the donations which come to center? No, we are dependent on Krishna. Krishna will send the donations. But we need donations, we use donations. But all the temple residents or whoever maintains the temple, runs the temple, the inner consciousness should be that we are not depending on money, we are depending on Krishna. Once Radhesham Prabhu shares this example, okay, let me not talk about it. So, Parabhav, Fena, Bandha, Bhaya, and Ma, dead end. The end. Mrityu. That is a characteristic of this world. So this Bengali song, it is 9:08. Can I go for, as I said, 9:15 to 7 more minutes chalega? This Bengali song which Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says, na, there is a Bengali song. Okay, let me, aega, yeah, aega, kya? Can we just quickly open this? And I have to open the Zoom also, right? Sharing. Share screen. Share. आ रहा है. Okay, किधर गया? Okay, everybody is able to see? You see, Prabhupada writes this Bengali song. We'll just end with this and one more point here after this. There is a nice song in this connection. Connection is what? हम कुछ भी करें, frustrated ही होते हैं. Man proposes, God disposes. There is a nice song in this connection. Because of a great desire to have all happiness in life, I built this house. But unfortunately, the whole scheme has turned to ashes because the house was unexpectedly set on fire. मैंने पता किया है पूरा song क्या है. पूरा song और भी मजेदार है. Okay, let me write the meanings there only. Command X, Command V. Sorry, just 1 minute. Command X, Command V. ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं है, 5 ही है. Command X, Command V. Command X. Sorry, I should have done this earlier, but okay, let's see what is this full song. Everybody is able to see? सुखेर लागिया एघर बाधिनु आगुने पुड़िया गेला अमिया सागरे स्नान करिते अमिया सागरे स्नान करिते सकली गरल भेला सुख सुखेर लागिया इन द सर्च ऑफ सुख एक घर बाधिनु घर बनाया इतना बड़ा आगुनी पुड़िया गेले आग लग गया घर में अमिया सागरे स्नान करीते सोचा नेक्टर के ओशन में नहाएंगे अमिया सागरे स्नान करीते सकली गरला भेला पता चला पॉइजन का ओशन निकला वो अहो in the hope of finding happiness I labored hard to build a house but fire came and it was burned up I swam in the ocean of nectar but that nectar turned out to be poison पहला दूसरा सखी की मोरा कपाल लेखी शीतला बलिया चाड़ा से वीनु शीतला बलिया छड़ा से वीनु भानुर किरण देखी सखी ओ फ्रेंड की मोरा कपाले लेखी मेरा भाग्य देखो कितना खराब है की मोरे कपाले लिखी शीतला बालिया छाड़ा सेविनु भानुर किरण देखी मैं सोचा कि ये जो स्कॉर्चिंग हीट है इससे निस्तार पाने के लिए मैं कूलिंग मून रेज का शेल्टर लूंगा पर वहां गया तो पता चला स्कॉर्चिंग सन रेज आया Oh my dear friend, how unfortunate I am. Knowing that moon beams are very cooling, I went to take shelter of the moon to cool off my burning body. But those rays turned into hot sun rays which scald me instead. Dukh aushadam tadapi dukkham. उचल बलिया अचले चढ़ीनु पड़ीनु अगाध जाले लक्ष्मी चाहिते दरिद्र बेढ़ला लक्ष्मी चाहिते दरिद्र बेढ़ला मानिक हारानु हेले उचल बलिया देखा अरे वाह पहाड़ बहुत ऊंचा है चलो चढ़ते हैं इसके ऊपर Knowing the height of a mountain, I climbed to the peak. Padinu aghada jale and then fell into the deep ocean. Lakshmi chahite. Lakshmi? Lakshmi chahite. I want money. Dharitya bedhala. I am always surrounded by poverty. पैसा के तलाश में निकले थे पर चारों तरफ क्या है? Poverty है. Manika haranu hele. A very valuable touchstone came in my hand, but at once I lost it. Touchstone मिला भी ले देके, और देखा थोड़ी देर बाद क्या है, गायब हो गया. हाइट ऑफ मिसफॉर्च्यून चल रहा है इधर. नगर बसलाम सागर बाधिलाम मणिक पबर आशे सागर सुकाल मणिक लुकाल सागर सुकाल मणिक लुकाल अभागी करम दोषे. नगर बसालामा, एक पूरा सिटी बसाया मैंने, मस्त एकदम बढ़िया. आई बिल्ट अ सिटी. किधर बसाया? ऑन द शोर ऑफ द ओशन. एंड मेड अ डैम टू मूव द ओशन. थोड़ा सूखा करेंगे, मतलब डैम बनाए मतलब सूखा एरिया बना देंगे, ज्यादा ओशन हटा देंगे, इन द होप ऑफ फाइंडिंग जेमस्टोन्स ऑन द ओशन बेड. बट ड्यू टू द फॉल्ट ऑफ माई ओन इल फॉर्च्यून द जेमस्टोन्स ऑल्सो हिट देमसेल्व्स. फिर वो भी नहीं मिला. मतलब इतना यत्न किया, सोचो, ओशन को किनारे करके ओशन बेड एक्सपोज किया जेम्स लाने के लिए, पर वो जेम ही नहीं मिला. सो मच स्ट्रगल बट नथिंग. पियास लागिया जलद सेविनु वजर पड़िया गेला कहे चंडीदास श्यामेरा पीरीति कहे चंडीदास श्यामेरा पीरीति मर मेरा हलशेला. प्यासा लगिया. व्हेन आई वाज थर्स्टी आई टुक शेल्टर ऑफ अ क्लाउड. पानी नहीं आया, पानी नहीं आया. Instead, a thunderbolt stuck on my head. This is the nature of material life. Misery, what is the definition of misery? What is the definition of misery? You get what you don't want, you don't get what you want. बोलिए. Don't get what you want. That is misery. यही हो रहा है, ये song में यही है. When I was thirsty, I took shelter of a cloud, but rain did not come. Instead, a thunderbolt stuck on my head. The poet Sri Chandidas laments that I have no affection for the lotus feet of Sri Sham Sundar is the only sorrow in my heart. I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Sham Sundar is the only attraction in my heart. Anyway, so yeah, so this song which Prabhupada is quoting in this purport is actually again another biography or another story of material life. So we saw 3 stories of material life today. One was in this verse. People are working hard for fruitive activities in the search of happiness, but neither they get happiness nor satiation. In fact, what they get is suffering. Second, what we saw, am I still sharing my screen on Zoom? Okay. So second, what we saw, Parvarga. And third, we saw this Bengali poem. Okay? So basically, we should not try to make a sand castle on a beach. Waves will come and destroy, and we'll again build, again destroy, again build. और ये कब से चला आ रहा है? बहुनाम जन्मानाम अन्ते ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यते. अब तो हम समझ लें. Prabhupada therefore used to beg us that so many lives we have given to our mind and senses. Let us just give this one life to Krishna and see what happens. ये तो ट्राई कर ही सकते हैं, क्या जाएगा. एनीवे हर लाइफ में जा ही रहा था ना, यहाँ भी फाइनली जाएगा ही, तो कम से कम कृष्णा को सरेंडर करके देख लेते हैं. So therefore, Vidura is asking Maitreya, so please tell what we should do. And we know in Srimad Bhagavatam very loud and clear it is mentioned that what we should do. We should hear about, chant and glorify, remember and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana. This we should do. And days like today, Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi offer a very, very wonderful opportunity that we can do these things more exclusively, more without worrying about our material things, to at least to whatever extent we can. So let us all utilize this opportunity to remember and contemplate on the nature of this world, the nature of life under illusory attraction of Maya, so many realities which we discussed, how there is no happiness in this world, how there is no cessation in spite of current. First of all, we did not get happiness, we got suffering, but still we are again going and touching the current. How powerful Maya is. Devi Esha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratya. We should be conscious. Prabhupada used to say that my only fear is my disciples are not enough afraid of Maya. Because Prabhupada ने माया के बारे में इतना बोला ना, अरे माया is, like that, we are Krishna's servant, Maya Das, Sadhav Das, Krishna Das, Bin Das, So, but we should not take Maya cheaply, because if we are new, Maya will attack us through wealth and women. If we are, and for women, men. And if we are experienced and seasoned devotees more and more, then Maya will attack us through egoism, lethargy. So we can never take Maya cheaply, but we should have faith. So first two lines, Devi Esha Gunamayi Mam Maya Duratya, will give us fear, enough fear of Maya, healthy fear of Maya. But केवल ये दो लाइन पे फोकस करेंगे तो डिप्रेस हो जाएंगे. अरे फियर फियर फियर, अरे बाप रे माया माया, तो माया कॉन्शियस बन जाएंगे. हम लोग को क्या बनना है? माया कॉन्शियस नहीं बनना है. वी हैव टू बिकम कृष्णा कॉन्शियस. देयरफॉर नेक्स्ट टू लाइंस आर इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट इज दैट? माम एव प्रपद्यन्ते माया में एताम तरंती थे. जस्ट सरेंडर इनटू मी, यू विल बी एबल टू क्रॉस ओवर दिस माया. पर केवल लास्ट दो लाइन देखेंगे तो माया को चिपली ले लेंगे और फॉल डाउन हो जाएगा. You see, so we have to not focus on only first two, only last two, but all four. Healthy fear of Maya and positive attraction to Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And let us, whatever time we have, whatever minutes, whatever hours we have today before we start our work, or if we have taken off, that is even wonderful. Let us all try to intensely वर्शिप, रिमेंबर एंड वो सब तो हम लोग बाकी सभी भी करते हैं. चैंटिंग को ही किनारे रखते हैं तो कम से कम चैंटिंग कर लेते हैं अच्छे से फॉर वट एवर टाइम वी हैव. बट मीन वाइल एनी क्वेश्चंस और कमेंट्स फॉर नेक्स्ट क्विकली 5 minutes and then we'll do chanting. Any questions or comments, anybody? Yes, Suresh Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. We understand many examples about this stress and all those things. Power, so you explain it. Just one question for me: that this can medical success ever contribute to the spiritual progress?
Very good question. So first of all, we have to be aware. So question everybody heard, right? He spoke on mic. So first of all, we have to be aware that material success without connection to Krishna will only bind us more. It is called as prisoner of success. This is called as prisoner of success. It is called as a heavy crown. Let's say I am drowning in the ocean, and on top of it, I am wearing a very heavy gold crown, very valuable. Heavy gold crown must be in crores, right? Many, many crores. So I'm wearing a very valuable thing, but it is on the head of a drowning man. So on the head of a drowning man, what will happen? It will only help him drown faster. So that is one. It can trap us and it can help us drown faster. That's first thing we should understand. However, your actual question, if we are Krishna conscious, if we are surrendered to Krishna, which is a continuous process, which is a progressive process, it's not a one-time activity that, oh, 5 years back when I got introduced to Krishna consciousness, I surrendered. No, Sharanagati, it's a continuous process. Day after day, we have to increase our surrender. So if we are surrendered to Krishna, if we are in guidance of devotees, if we are in association of devotees, basically that ABCD we are doing very, very clearly, then whatever material success we get, we will get the power and the intelligence to use that in Krishna's service, and then it will become wonderful. Point number 3, but we have to be careful about how much is too much and how less is too less. If I'm using my 24 hours to search for material success in the name of Yukta Vairagya, in the name of using it in Krishna's service, and that is also mistaken, because ultimate boundary we have to make of time. We have 24 hours in a day. Depending on our age, 8 to 10 hours we can give for material success. Utna 8 to 10 hours deke jitna material success mil gaya, I will use it in Krishna's service. So 3 things I said. Number 1, material success on its own can be like a heavy gold crown on a drowning man. Number 2, material success, if in association of devotees, doing ABCD very nicely, being very sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, if we do, then by the blessings and guidance of devotees in Krishna, we'll be able to use it in service of Krishna, which is wonderful. And we must. Because Prabhupada says, don't be lazy in using your intelligence in service of Krishna. So if I'm a prime minister, what will be my influence of service? If I'm an IAS officer, if I'm a king, what will be my influence of service? Right? So that is wonderful. But what careful we have to be? Boundaries of time. I have 24 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. How do I know how much is too much and how less is too less? I'll put the boundary of time. I'll time box it. I'll spend, depending on my age. If I'm 50, I'll not spend 8 to 10 hours. But if I'm in 20s and 30s, I'll spend 8 to 12, whatever, including commute. I'll spend that much. In doing that, whatever material success I get, I'll use it in service of Krishna. Very simple 3 points. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. I think if
And then more success, the better. That's why we tell our people, na 0, 0, 0, 0, put a 1. Then more zeros, better only. 2 zeros makes it 100. 3 zeros will make it 1000 is better than 100. 4 zeros will make it 10,000. Correct?
and also please tell something about this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. How can we chant more, and then importance of this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi?
So Ekadashis are called as Madhav Tithi, Bhakti Janani. These are very special days. Krishna has blessed Ekadashi Devi that whoever does Krishna practices some spiritual activities on this day, I'll be very pleased and I'll give them manifold results. Just like we say for Kartik Mas, we say for Purushottam Mas, something like that. That's point number one. There is another Pandav related story which is different, which very quickly I can share. You know, when Ekadashis actually are supposed to be done Nirjal. Typically, traditional understanding of Ekadashi is all Nirjal only, not our ISKCON style Ekadashi. You know, wherein sometimes we have Ekadashi cake also. That is like taking it too much. Again, not looking down upon those devotees who are doing it, because one formula we should always remember. Always appreciate whatever standards others are able to follow, and always regret for whatever you are not able to follow. Don't look on others and then condemn them or look down upon them. You never know whose situation is what. Like once one devotee and Radhanath Maharaj were walking in Chopati temple. I'm sorry, I'm digressing a bit, but this is important on Ekadashi. One devotee and Radhanath Maharaj, his guru, they were walking around Chopati temple. And those of you who have visited Chopati temple, you know there is a Govindas, nice Govindas there. It's the best veg hotel, you know, in that area. So this devotee saw one devotee on Ekadashi day eating Ekadashi pizza. Ekadashi pizza. So then this devotee said, told Maharaj, Maharaj, you know, see, he's eating pizza, you know, Ekadashi, he should be hearing chanting. Maharaj said, his body may be feasting, but your ego may be fasting. Your body may be fasting, but your ego may be feasting. Your false ego may be feasting. You know that story of this in I think Brahmand Puran, this story comes. There was a Brahmana. There's a Brahmana, he was very pakka with his rules. सुबह कितने बजे उठेगा वो 3:30. ब्रह्म मुहूर्त उठ रहे हैं, ब्रह्म मुहूर्त चेक नहीं कर रहा है वो, ब्रह्म मुहूर्त से पहले उठ रहा है, 3:30 उठ रहा है, एकदम पक्का बराबर, अटेंडेंस टिक 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 टिक, एक भी रॉन्ग नहीं है उसमें, एकदम. You understand? There are devotees like that, एकदम पक्का. And then he would do his 3 times Gayatri exact, एकदम sunrise sunset का टाइम देख कर, नून टाइम देख के he would do Gayatri. One day थोड़ा थक गया था वो सुबह ये सब करके, तो थोड़ा नैप ले लिया. अब नैप ले लिया, उसका गायत्री का टाइम हो गया, दोपहर वाला गायत्री का टाइम. अब वो सो रहा है, कली पर्सोनिफाइड, कली पर. और आज तक लाइफ में उसने कभी कुछ मिस नहीं किया, कोई गायत्री मिस नहीं किया, कोई 16 राउंड मिस नहीं किया, कोई मॉर्निंग वेकअप मिस नहीं किया. When afternoon Kali saw him sleeping, Kali personified came and woke him up. अरे उठो भाई, गायत्री करना है. तो ही woke up, अरे हाँ हाँ अच्छा याद दिलाया आपने, गायत्री करना है. तुरंत फटाफट नहाया, गायत्री करने लगा. उसके बाद बोला थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू. आप कौन हो? ये बोलता मैं कली हूँ. इसका दिमाग थोड़ा घूम गया, बोला कली, आप तो स्पिरिचुअल पाथ से दूर ले जाते हो, आप तो मेरे को हेल्प कर रहे हो गायत्री करने में. कली said, if you would have missed, you would have become humble. If you do, your pride will maintain that I am the best devotee, I have never missed any single Gayatri, and that is my job to puff up your pride. वो होता है ना, ऐसे पंप कर रहे तो और puff up हो रहा है, तो that's my job. And that's your spiritual fall down. You see? So these things are so sensitive. But again, we have to be careful not to take that excuse and then keep eating whole day. Because Prabhu ji, false ego का ध्यान देना ज्यादा जरूरी. Hearing chatting यार. हमारा माइंड इतना रास्कल है ना, क्या करोगे आप, कहाँ जाओगे बच के? कि खाली ये सुनेंगे लेक्चर में तो प्रॉब्लम, ये सुनेंगे तो भी प्रॉब्लम, बैलेंस होना तो भी एक्सक्यूज देंगे अपने को, प्रैक्टिकलिटी के नाम पर जस्टिफाई करेंगे. तो अल्टीमेटली इट्स ऑन बॉइल्स डाउन टू आवर ओन सिंसेरिटी. चाहते क्या हो लाइफ में, क्या चाहिए? चीट करना है किसी को, करो, चीट करो, चीटी करते रहो, होते रहो. when a demon is attacking Krishna, who is in danger? इतना क्या सोच रहे हैं? when a demon is attacking Krishna, who is in danger? when we are cheating Krishna, who is getting cheated? तो इतना सिंसियरिटी से कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो जो होगा वो करेंगे. दूसरे को दिखाने के लिए कुछ नहीं करना है. अरे पानी पी लिया, लोग बोलेंगे मैं निर्जल नहीं कर रहा हूं, कम से कम सबके सामने तो बोतल टच ही नहीं करूंगा. माइंड टेल्स ऑल दीज थिंग्स व्हाट टू डू. लोग क्या कहेंगे? अरे अल्टीमेटली कभी अंतर्मुखी बनना बहुत जरूरी है कि हम क्या कर रहे हो, किसके लिए कर रहे हो. कृष्णा को सब पता है. You know, so coming back to this thing, so ideally Ekadashi is supposed to be done Nirjal only, every Ekadashi. You know, but we all are not able to do that. And Bhim Sen was also like that. Bhim was like, ये बहुत difficult है मेरे लिए. Bhim is like Vakrodhar. Vakrodhar means udar. He is like, he will eat like anything, voracious eater. तो then he was told that okay, ये जो particular एकादशी है ना, इस एक एकादशी को निर्जल कर लो कम से कम अच्छे से, तो आपको बाकी सारी एकादशी करने का फल मिलेगा. पर ये सब चीजें हम लोग इस्कॉन में इतना क्यों नहीं हाईलाइट करते? क्योंकि इन जनरल ट्रेडिशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ एकादशी इज द कर्मकांड अंडरस्टैंडिंग, कि इसको करो ये फल मिलेगा वो फल मिलेगा. हम लोग इसको कैसे लेते हैं? माधव तिथि, उपवास. उपवास मीन्स टू लिव नियर कृष्णा. सो टुडे लेट अस रिड्यूस आवर ईटिंग, Let us reduce our sleeping so that we can spend more and more time with Krishna. That's our idea. As a fal wal karm kand are wo sab nahi kehte le kar lete. That is not our primary focus as such. And in that spirit, we use every day as an opportunity to serve Krishna and be near Krishna. So let us all today, after this, I mean now immediately after this, as much as possible, again, please balance certain things, whatever. But if you can prioritize, then please prioritize. As much as possible, please try to chant. The more we chant, the better. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. It is 9:20.